So welcome to the SpunkGo webinar. I'm Netha, the founder of SpunkGo. Today's speaker is Supriya Singh, and she is the head of Tata Communications. She started off her journey very young, and she has been to Antarctica, and obviously she's had her few difficulties and challenges throughout the way, and this is what she will be talking about today. Just a side note, Q&A will be done through the chat feature. SpunkGo is an all-girls global organization where proceeds go to charity. I especially want to thank the SpunkGo ambassadors and the leaders that are on this call today, who will be attending and they are both watching this recording later. And thank you. With that, the floor is now yours, Supriya.
Thanks, Netra, and thanks everyone for joining. I know I put this question in the chat, but before I go on, it would be if you can put your responses in the chat just for me to know where all are you logging in from. So I see someone's from Singapore and I see Tanzania, and yeah, just put your responses in the chat. That doesn't mean we need to stop to collect all the responses. I'll just get going and you can. Yeah, I see a couple of people from Singapore. Very nice. Okay, so let's start. Very happy to be here. So a big thanks to the SpunkGo team for having me here. Let me start by saying I absolutely love the name SpunkGo, and it's very spunky and it's very catchy, very attractive. So well done on that. At least I believe that a lot of who we are or what kind of organizations we want to set up or work we do sometimes get influenced by the names we have. Not always, but yeah, sometimes. So let me I will first talk about myself, what I'm doing right now, and then I have a very short presentation. So Netra, I hope I can share my screen. I'll just, okay. Once you give me the host rights, let me know, and I would be able to share my screen. But yeah, I can. Is it, just give me a sign. Is it visible to everyone? I won't be able to see the chat box right now, but just a yes from anyone.
Yes. Yes, the presentation is visible.
All right. Okay. So as I was introduced, I work for a company called Tata Communications. Tata Communications is part of the Tata Group. So those of you who are not familiar with, the brand name Tata, if you have heard of Tetley, if you have heard of, Jaguar Land Rover, maybe Taj Hotels. These are some brands that the Tata Group, owns. It is a 153-year-old company which originated in India, and it has about 100 plus companies. So, Tata Communications, the company that I work for, is one of the 100 companies that the Tata Group has. And my organization, my company, is actually in the business of providing internet connectivity to the world, I would say. So every 3 out of every 5 mobile calls are actually on a Tata Communications network. We are not a Vodafone or an Airtel, but we are behind the scenes. So we are into undersea cables and everything that supports internet connectivity on this planet. So within Tata Communications, I head corporate social responsibility. Some of you would be aware that a lot of companies actually spend a part of their profit on development work. So I'm responsible for ensuring that Tata Communications social responsibility mandate is met. So we work with a lot of NGOs And we look at a variety of issues from education to healthcare to employability, sustainable livelihoods, environment, um, issues that affect some of the most underserved people in India as well as in the different countries that we are present. Um, so that's what I do right now. I'm based out of New Delhi, so today I'm logging in from New Delhi in India, and yeah, very happy to see there are a lot of people connecting from different parts of the world. Over the next 20 minutes or so, what I will do is share some elements of my life. Of course, 20 minutes is not enough to share one's life story, but I would try to make it fun. I would try to make it relatable, and yeah, and I really look forward to a lively interaction. So please, I do hope we have enough time in the end to have a chat, because that's for me very exciting. All right. So, when I was working with Netra and the team on, what should really be the topic of my conversation today, I really thought, I would like to call it the squiggly route to success. And I'm sure everybody understands what a squiggle is. And I do have something to show you what a squiggle looks like. But really, this is the truth. This is the truth of my life. This is the truth of the life of many, many people who we, in whatever sense of the way, consider successful, or people who have achieved something. That the road to success is never straight. So, that's really how I would like to start this presentation. And if you could see on your screen, and those of you who are joining through audio and maybe cannot see the screen, basically, I have a picture up that actually talks about how, when we think of a plan or when we plan, we always think it will be a straight line. We will do A, and then B will happen, and then C will follow, and so on and so forth. And really, here it says original plan for new idea. You can replace the new idea with new project, new love, new aspiration, new dream. Every time there's something new, every time we think of a plan, it's always a straight line, because we expect everything to fall in place one after the other. Our actual experience is all messed up. Our actual experience is full of these highs and lows, these peaks and valleys, disappointments and detours, of course also high points, and therefore it becomes all squiggly. It never is how you imagined it would turn out to be. So in actuality, in reality, what we think and what really happens, it's different. Now, the third part of it is, how do we talk about it in hindsight or retrospect? Exactly what I'm doing right now. So when you hear my story, you will feel that, oh wow, she had it all planned, but and she knew exactly what she wanted to do when she was whatever, 14 or 15, or maybe at a very young age. But nothing can be farther from the truth than this, because I had absolutely no idea that I'll be here today in my life. I had some idea, just like we have some clue as to where we want to go, what we want to do. So this squiggle is has been an important part of my understanding of my life. And recently, I came across this fantastic book from Dr. Christiane Bush, who's teaching at the New York University, called The Serendipity Mindset, The Art and Science of Creating Good Luck. And this particular picture that I have up here is actually from his book, adapted from his book. And what he says is that we all like to feel like we are masters of our own destiny. to be in control of our future, to know how we will reach our goals and ambitions. In short, we all like to have a plan. Despite all our planning, modeling, and strategizing, there appears to be another factor at work: the unexpected. And that is really going to be something that I'm going to refer to again and again over the next 15 minutes or so. The unexpected. The unexpected, and here I would like to preface it by saying that when I talk about unexpected, I'm not really talking about leaving it to chance or leaving it to fate. What I'm really talking about is being prepared for that chance, being prepared for that opportunity that unexpectedly might, come your way. Be prepared to connect the dots. And that's what I have done, through my life. Sometimes I was awake to opportunity, sometimes I was sleeping. So sometimes things worked, and sometimes they didn't. But really, all those of you who are listening to me know that the way you plan and the way things happen are two different things, and we need to be prepared for the unexpected. So with that, I'll start with a story. I think all of us like stories, so I'll start with a story of my life. um, I hope you can see this picture on your screens, and I'm really sorry that I put a lot of pictures. So those of you who are joining through audio may not be. Maybe you can watch it later. But this is really my family. I come from a family, from a very close knit family. My see my parents there, and my siblings. So I am the youngest of the four siblings in my family. So the youngest one with a really grumpy look on the in the photograph is actually me. My friends used to call me the grumpy queen, because I always had this grumpy look when I was growing up, and I don't know why. But now when I look back at it, I feel maybe I was always this. I was probably trying to figure out more than what met my eyes, and I was always sort of thinking. And I don't know, but a lot of my photographs are where I look very grumpy and angry. um, so, I come from a very small town in India called Patna, which is in the eastern side of the country, where the Ganges or Ganga flows, the mighty river of India. And it is also a region that is known for Buddhism. So, historically, what you will hear about the state that I come from is that Buddha gained enlightenment in Bihar. Now, that has nothing to got to do with my enlightenment, but this is just to give you a sense of where I come from. Uh, so I was brought up in a family that was, like I said, was very close knit. We are very close even today, but not without challenges. I remember a lot of my growing up years. I had a slightly difficult relationship with my father. Not that not that he's not a good father, but we sort of didn't agree on a lot of things. And as I entered my teens, that difference of opinion, that difference of viewing life, sort of became very stark. uh, I lived with that feeling of not my father not being my friend for a very long time. I think sort of till I hit about mid 30s. And so you can imagine that almost 20 years of my life I lived with the feeling that my dad was not on my side, or my family was not on my side. It's only now that I realize that they are probably silently, but they are probably my biggest cheerleaders, because all said and done, I keep going back to them whenever there is a problem. And yes, we don't still understand and agree on everything that we have to say, and we don't have the same way of looking at life. Um, but the first thing I would like to share is that we don't choose the family we are born into, but we can choose many other things, including how to live moment to moment, including how to respond to these feelings of alienation that we may have vis-a-vis our families, that that feeling that nobody understands us, that um, you can choose to feel down and alone and alienated, or you can choose uh, to to respect that difference of opinion, or respect that difference of looking at life and move on. But from moment to moment, from this moment that I'm talking to the next moment that I will speaking to, how you respond, what you do is really a choice. It's actually a choice. It's, we wait for things, we feel things are happening to us, but I feel, it's a choice that we make from moment to moment. And once we start being aware of it, we choose these moments more carefully. So that's really my, first sort of sharing that I wanted to do today. um, after I did my schooling in Patna, and after, when I was about 16, I actually went to another city in India called Pune, and Pune is in the western. So from east I moved to west. I was 16, and I it was my parents really didn't want me to go all the way to Pune to study, but that was something I really wanted to do. I really wanted to move out to see the world, experience life, and I did my undergrad in economics, and went on to do my masters and MPhil in international politics from Delhi. So I went to Pune, and from Pune I came to Delhi, where I am based out of. So since 2002, I've been in Delhi. But 2002 also marks a period in life where I signed up for every possible internship, every possible volunteering opportunity in any part of India that I could, I got to know of, and really learned firsthand, what was going on in my country, what was happening on the ground. So those of you who are interested in development work, who want to work with NGOs, who want to work with people, and who really, identify with social issues, there's no better way to actually, learn about it, rather other than getting your hands dirty. And by that I mean, volunteer, intern. And this is a photograph, I think, that was really at the beginning of my, coming into my own, where I was really traveling left, right, and center. And I think this is 2000 and 2007 or 2008. And this is a photograph that's taken in Leh. Leh is really in the northernmost part of India, up in the Himalayas. It's a cold desert, and I was volunteering at an organization called SecMol. And these are the girls that you see are the girls that who were appearing for their 10th grade exam, and I was sort of helping them with their preparation. So the second thing I want to talk about is that explore the world, travel, travel to faraway lands. The further you wander, the closer you will come to living the life of your dreams, living the life that you want to. This is just one example, and I like I said, I traveled around the country uh, to gain experience, but also to find my own feet, and also to find myself. And this is really when I was in my 20s, and there was a strange restlessness in me, where I thought, if I don't travel, or if I don't experience a life the way it is, the way it is not, I would be doing a disservice to myself. Did it make my parents happy? No, it did not. I think that was, again, like I said, that was a time when I thought nobody understood what I wanted, and I was, all this was, by the way, going on in my head, and I was becoming a prisoner to my own thoughts. But yes, professionally, these experiences have really helped me, because I have learned my work on the ground by being with people and not in a classroom. So yes, we need to focus on education, but we also need to focus on real life experiences. After my all these experiences that I had in my 20s, where I was volunteering, traveling, interning, um, I think slowly I moved to structured jobs. So I'll start with a photograph on the right hand side, which is, I don't know, I hope you can see it. It's actually a photograph of me jumping in the ocean in Antarctica. So that's the trip Netra was referring to. In 2012, I was part of an expedition with 70 other people from 22 different countries, where we traveled to Antarctica to get a first-hand knowledge of climate change. And I traveled with Sir Robert Swan. So please do look him up. He's the only person to have traveled to both the poles unassisted. And I hope someday some of you can really join on one of his expeditions. Um, so this was really, a challenge that was thrown to us, which was called the polar plunge. And yeah, it was, the challenge was to jump in the ocean, in the ocean in Antarctica. So quite a few of us, took that challenge, and we did that. Really stepping out of a comfort zone. I am not a really good swimmer, and I'm not, I'm from India, so you can imagine my comfort level with cold, and this was icy cold water. But if someone was to ask me what was the highlight in Antarctica, I would say jumping into the water in Antarctica. The second photograph is from the Andaman Islands. India has two set of islands, the Andamans and Lakshadweep, where I started I co-founded an initiative with one of my friends called the Turquoise Change, and we work. I mean, working on islands is a personal project, is a personal passion. So we worked in Andamans, we worked in Zanzibar. I see some people from Tanzania there. We've also worked in Borneo, and now we are actually running a very interesting um, talk series called the Turquoise Tales. But this was something that you know. Was bringing a passion project to life, and maybe SpunkGo may have started like that at some point. I'm not sure, but uh, when we have a passion, when we want to do something, it's important to give it life. Otherwise, you would probably regret that you didn't give it a shot. So now, we have registered this organization, and yeah, we keep doing some interesting stuff, which is over and above what I do at Tata Communications. The last picture is actually part of my work at Tata Communications, where this was from a trip that I did to Rajasthan to actually see some educational programs. And I met this lady in one of the villages I went to, and she almost got me married, in the sense that she said, "Oh well, now you should live here, and I'm going to get you married to my son." But I love this photograph because at the end of the visit she gave me 10 rupees, and 10 rupees, 10 Indian rupees. It's really, it seems like a small amount, but in that situation, in that village, I think it was a lot. I think it was probably something that she had saved up, and I still have that note with me, which also made me feel that abundance or feeling of prosperity is really a feeling. It's not a figure that you have in your bank. Sometimes, some of the richest people don't feel abundant, don't feel prosperous, and they want more. And here was this lady who actually didn't even think twice before giving me that 10 rupee note when I met her. So whatever you do, give it your best, give it your all, and but be smart. So there's a balance that you need to strike between hard work and smart work. Always, always, always strive for excellence, and glory will follow. So all that you see here was not planned. So going back to unexpected, all that you see here hasn't come easy. It's not that I sat one day, woke up and said, let's find an island to work, and we created an organization. It wasn't easy to be nominated to go to Antarctica. I'm sure there were other people who were considered. uh, so hard work pays, and striving for excellence pays. A lot of times, when I'm troubled with anything at work, I say, okay, let me keep my head down and give my best and do my best, and rest will follow. And I think that's what you should keep in mind. From glory will follow to shining. So this is a photograph which is fairly recent. Actually, this is a 2018 photograph at my current workplace at Tata Communications. The gentleman on my right was my CEO at that point, who I really look up to, and the lady on my left is the chairperson of a board of Tata Communications. And here I'm getting awarded because that year I was uh, adjudged as one of the top 1% employees of Tata Communications. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Not because this is a session to really sort of really talk about how great I am, but the fact that uh, all the hard work that I did, all that I did sort of came together when I received this award. And my mother accompanied me. You can't see her in this picture, and it was really a proud moment for me to get that award. But while I got that award, obviously it was not just my victory or my win. My team helps me, my parents have supported me, my friends have been there, my professional mentors have been there. So when you shine, and when you do shine in life, be grateful to those who helped you. Having said that, own your success. I see a lot of young girls, especially, I mean, I would say this is with girls and women. When we succeed, we are in a hurry to say that it is because of, my father, or it is because of my mother, or it is because of my husband or my partner or whosoever. We forget to say it is also because of me. So own your success. It's very, very important to know that you succeeded because you worked hard and you wanted it. um, I'll go through quickly. I think we don't have much time, but these are just 2 3 slides I have. This is about something that is very close to my heart, and something related to mental health, something related to depression, and going to dark places. So throughout my life, I have gone through dark phases in life, despite all the nice things that surround me, and all the abundance that surrounds me. uh, and that's the point. We all go through dark phases, and it is okay to be vulnerable. Accept how you feel, don't fight it, and then reach out or let people help you. What I'm trying to tell you here is that if you feel dark, if you feel depressed, it's okay. It's okay to feel like that, because all of us have felt like that from time to time. Some of us are brave enough to actually say, hey, I don't feel good. And some of us, keep it to ourselves, which is really not healthy in the long run. So accept that you're feeling not so good, accept that you may be in a dark space, and then let people help you out. Let it's very important to not brush it under the carpet. And I know there are a lot of these self-help books that ask you to be brave and be confident. All that will happen, but be vulnerable, be weak. It's all right. We don't feel the same way through the day or through the week, and it's all right to feel a little broken, because all of us have felt like that. But when you feel like that, and when life has knocked you a punch or anything, something has not worked, some scholarship didn't get through, someone broke your heart, some exam didn't go well, whatever happens in life, remember there is an indestructible light within each one of you. I if there's one thing I have realized, is that there's a light within each one of us. There are people who value you, and things that you love that can lift you. So this is a photograph of 2007, and I love dancing. Dancing is one thing that really lifts my spirit, and I never give up an opportunity to dance. So this was some work I was doing in a slum in Delhi, which is actually a slum where a lot of famous puppeteers, and a lot of folk artists live in this place. And we were just having some interaction, and they started playing, and here I was, tapping into my inner light. And this is not an inner light which is, more like a Buddha light, but inner light could be something that you like, something that you love. It could be, I don't know, it could be a book, it could be creme brulee, it could be anything that you like. So tap into it, because remember, moment to moment, don't think of, oh, I need to feel good all of a sudden. It could be moment to moment transformation. So that's all I have for you. That was my last slide. And I would be happy to answer your questions.
We have a few questions in the chat box below.
All right. Okay. Okay, so I have a question from Okain. I am sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but did you see yourself coming to where you are now? Is there anything you would do differently if you had the chance to do it again? No, I didn't. Like I said, when I was growing up, when I was in school, I wanted to be a fashion designer. Then I wanted to be a lawyer. So, this happens. You see someone who inspires you, and you want to become that person. I don't think I ever thought that I would get into the social sector or impact sector, or I would be working to create, some kind of a small impact in people's lives, because that's what I do. Um, but I do remember that from a very young age, I was very sensitive to anything that seemed not right or seemed a little unfair. And I had this deep sense of, oh, that's, I do remember me saying from time to time, oh, that's not fair. So fairness and unfairness was something that was really part of me. um is there anything I would do differently? I would probably trust in my abilities much more. I don't think I trusted in my abilities quite a bit when I was growing up. I was really unsure of myself. I was not, not I was not really, um, I don't know how to say it, but I was unsure. I was not confident. I always thought there were people better than me, and that, I was not as good as them. Uh, I'll probably trust myself a little more and trust people around me, my family, or people who loved me a little more, and be a little more. Yeah, probably these two I would have done. Okay. Um, Did you feel scared at any time coming from a small city and going into the big bad world? What would you say to girls from smaller towns and villages? I was not scared when I remember I did this long train journey with my father, which took me 50 hours because it was monsoon and half of India was flooded, and the trains were running very late. So I remember through the train journey, my father telling me all kinds of things, like a protective father: be very careful of who you make friends with, and then, conduct yourself responsibly, and so on and so forth. And, it just went on and on. I don't think I was scared till my father actually left me in my hostel, a hostel where I was living with 10 other girls. And I I still have that image in my mind where my father said bye to me, and he started leaving, and I suddenly felt very lonely. That was my first feeling. I felt, oh my god, I'm so far away from home, and I'm going to be so lonely. And it was not easy. It was not easy. I would miss food. I would miss all kinds of things at home, from home. But I think, there are good people in the world, and I did make good friends, who looked after me, people who were from that part of the world. And they sort of, one is just the discomfort of being away from home, and then the second is the culture. You come from a certain culture, you go into a different culture. I remember I went for my first party and I was shocked because I had never gone to a disco before I turned 16. So I was like, what's going on? Is this for real? So a lot of things were new to me, but I did have, I think, spend my energy in making some friends who I could count on, and that's going to be very important. Especially people who are moving from smaller towns and villages. Who do you surround yourself with? What kind of people do you make connections with? I'm not saying connections in terms of professional links and all, but I think you get this sense when you make a connection with the right people. So it's important to surround yourself with good people. Tell us, how did you go to Antarctica and how was it an experience? So I was working with an organization called the Energy and Resources Institute. I was leading a lot of youth programs, and I was literally nominated by the organization and the company that was funding one of the programs that I was leading. um, uh, Tetra Pak was actually funding the whole expedition, my expedition. And I was lucky to be nominated. What I remember of my experience in Antarctica is that it was a trip of a lot of firsts. The first time I saw a penguin, the first time I was on a trip for 15 days, disconnected from everyone who was close to me. The first time, I probably camped in Antarctica, jumped in the ocean in Antarctica. So it was really a trip of first. Um, but the the most important thing for me, the most important realization there that I had was, one, of course, we are having an impact on fragile ecosystems, because we could see how Antarctica was getting impacted due to global warming, first-hand experience. And second, that we take ourselves a bit too seriously, because after 15 days, when I actually came to mainland and I very excitedly went to a net cafe, those were not days of 4G. And I was in Ushuaia in Argentina, and I thought, oh, everyone must be missing me, and they would ask me how I am. I actually just had a few mails, from one from my family, one from my workplace, and there are a very few people who are really bothered about us, and we end up really taking ourselves way too seriously, and that complicates a lot of things in life. So that was a great realization that, oh, okay, the world went on without me. But it was a great experience, because I experienced what I did in Antarctica, but it also gave me a big, big professional network of friends who I'm in touch with till date. All right, so I think I am done. And there are a few more questions, but I think we are out of time. So Netra, I will leave it to you to tell me, how much time we have.
I mean, we do have a bit more time. There's no fixed time for the
All
duration
right.
of.
Okay. So then let me take a few more questions. What next for you, given you have been so successful? Thanks, Jane. I don't feel that successful. Um, just today, I read somewhere that success is a feeling. It's not a destination. and I still feel I would like to do much more. So if you what will make me feel very successful, one is um yeah, to really be with someone um who can be a companion to me. So I'm not here talking about happily ever after, but really someone to share life with. I think I would like to give back to my hometown and to my community much more than I'm doing right now, and do much more for young girls than I am doing right now. This is something that is more like a life mission, and I feel I need to do more in that direction. I want to be there for my parents and my friends, and yeah, I think I'm still not there. So maybe designation wise, yes, I may have reached somewhere. Um, and I want to see a bit more of the world before finally I say goodbye. So yeah, I think there's still some bit for me to go before I can really feel happy. And for me, I would say, more happiness is what I am after than success. I don't know if it makes sense, but yeah, I think there's a bit for me to get there. Okay. What words of inspiration would you give us girls at SpunkGo? You're already all very determined, spunky is what I can see. Um, what words of wisdom? I I think be who you really are. Um, if you and go after what you really want. If you want to travel. If you want to get a particular job or go to another country and study, or have a kind of friendship or whatsoever. Life is really short. We have one life. I'm not saying, be a rebel without a cause. I think I was a rebel without a cause for a very long time. But really ask yourself what will make you truly happy. What is the life that will truly inspire you? And then go after it with single minded focus. Don't worry about what others are saying. Don't worry that you may not have enough money to travel where you want to. I think when we really want something, we start attracting it towards ourselves. So single minded focus on things that you want, life that you want to create, without hesitation, without fear, and without second guessing. I think that's what I would say to that. All right. Do you have any advice for those who are unsure of what they want to do in life? Yeah, Mitri, I hope you were there at the beginning of my session. I wasn't sure, you know, of I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and you won't be sure for some time to come. I think what's important is to have a general direction as to where you would like to go. If you're asking in terms of, let's say, what profession to choose, or if you like art, then try and gain experience in that field. And by that, I know it's COVID times and it's difficult to travel, but collect as much experience you can by talking to people, by being in spaces where you can you can reflect and really think about what you're passionate about. But have a general direction, talk to people, look for opportunities, look for scholarships, look to volunteer. I think for me, volunteering in places, in different places around the world has been very, very gratifying and very educational. So go out, explore, and um, you'll find it, and when you find it, you'll feel it, that okay, this is something that you want to do, and then you'll start getting better at it. You'll start really sort of shining, and then that will turn into something that will make your life. So doesn't happen overnight. With few people it does, but I think most of us are, squiggly. Remember that whenever you're confused, remember that it's never a straight line. You will come to dead ends, and you'll have to have detours, but you will get there. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I think I have I'm just, someone wanted my email, so I did write my LinkedIn and Twitter ID. But if you do want to write to me, here's my personal email address. Please do connect. Okay, that's. I think I covered all the questions, Netra.
All right, thank you so much, Supriya. If Sabrina is in this meeting, I know she wanted to say a few words. So, Sabrina, if you would like to say.
Hello everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, we'll be doing the thanks vote. But my name is Sabrina. I'm from Tajikistan, and in the beginning, due to some issues, technical issues, I couldn't begin I'm very glad. A few internet connection. I'm very sorry, and I hope that I can say my words in 1-2 minutes with you. So about Tajikistan, Tajikistan is a landlocked country lying in the heart of Central Asia. Who doesn't know where is Tajikistan's, like specifically the location? It's located in neighborhood with Turkey countries, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and in neighborhood with Persian countries, Afghanistan and Iran. So about the nationality, we're just Persians, but located in the area, just a central region with Turkic countries. So it's very, very joyful to be in Tajikistan and to meet like two. I'm sorry, very sorry for my this internet issue. So about the few challenges that we have in Tajikistan regarding like girls and education, some participation, some like organizations. So about challenges, we had civil war in Tajikistan and many issues that could very like these opportunities for girls are very difficult. So in the first thing that is like is challenging is education, that not all and all the girls in villages and the regions have like can be educated or go universities and schools. But as we are like doing or trying or seeing, the government is trying to avoid or to get rid of this problem. And the other thing that can make some obstacles for girls back to the world, it's maybe our traditions or like this stuck tradition that can't make or can't let the girls to connect the world and to do the things that all the girls from all over the world are doing. And I hope that it will be very good. It will be just all.
Okay, so thank you, Sabrina, for that. Kate, you can now do the closing.
Yes, sorry again. And very thank you, Miss Supriya. I just read about you, and I'm very just, I don't know, very glad to be here and hearing you and kicking off with this internet connection by time. But anyway, I can surely say that if you once come to Tajikistan, you will fall in love with this country, with this nature and hospitality of the nations. And these are a few words that I could say here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Supriya. Thank you, SpunkGo.
I would love to come to Tajikistan. I have really not explored that area, but yeah, once this COVID,
Yes.
gets done and dusted, that's an area I would love to explore. And
Yes.
yeah, let's keep in touch.
Okay, I will be very, very glad. I just have copied your just email address, and I will be writing you. And it's very great to meet you, Miss Supriya. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate. Kate, if you could do the closing.
Hello?
Hi, Kate.
You're audible. We can hear you, Kate.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. It's been good having you guys. And I want to thank our speaker, Miss Supriya. It was nice hearing from you. I'm so much motivated, and I think the rest of the audience are. Thanks everyone for your time. It's been great having you all. And I wish to invite you to Kenya. Yes, I would like to engage you here, show you these girls. I heard you say like you like to impart and talk to the young girls. I'd like to invite you and see what I do with these young girls here where I am in Kenya. And I want to thank you too. And you are welcome once more. And again, you can talk to us. I'll connect with you through the email you sent. And for our listeners, you can check on us at SpunkGo.com, www.spunko.com. Thanks, everyone. May God bless you. Have a nice day. Thank you all.
Thank you, Kate. Thanks for those lovely words. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you so much.